On this week's breaking news, the BrickLink Designer Program is out. Did Star Wars Smart Play fail? And Godzilla might be making his entrance pretty soon here. All that and more on this week's breaking news. But first, I want to talk about a really cool store, a Brick Monarch shop. This website is designed for all those AFOs out there that are looking for some great t-shirts with classic logos, some home decor you can put on your walls, such as shields, and some other great iconic aspects from the LEGO history. You can head over to the link in our description for Brick Monarch shop, and you can get a discount of 10% off using Back to Brick 10. That's Back to Brick 10, the number 2. So head over there so you can get some really cool AFO swag. All right, now let's get to the breaking news.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Back to Brick. I'm your host Garrett, and this is the podcast where we talk with fellow AFOs about their LEGO designs, and we get down to the breaking news to talk about all things LEGO has been up to for the past week. Thank you all for tuning into this week's podcast. I appreciate each and every one of you, as I say every week, for coming and listening to me ramble and talk about the latest LEGO news, and hopefully you learn something at the end of the episode, as well as learning about some of the sets that I review at the end. But first, I want to thank the patrons over at Patreon for keeping the lights on, because that's what you're doing. You're making me appreciate continuing doing this podcast, as well as all those that are avid listeners. Make sure to let others know, because then maybe they'll become avid listeners as well. And you can become a patron over at Patreon. There's a link in the description. You know how the whole spiel goes. And you'll get the podcast early and ad-free. Now, for the admin side of things, I am getting my shoulder fixed this next week. So this is the last time you'll hear me with one working arm for the time being, or both working arms. And then I'll only have one as they try to fix the other one, and hopefully that does happen. Now, we will be doing the episode still, but it just might be a little bit of a challenge as I try to work with only my left hand, my not dominant hand. So there's that. But that's pretty much it in the admin. We're going to be doing our set reviews. As always, at the end of the episode, I talk about LEGO sets that I just like to share my opinion on. First one is going to be set 31384, the Wild Animals Colorful Hummingbird. And the Rebrickable build is going to be the AR Wing Starfox Assault by Kaelfros, Kaelfros. There'll be a link in the description so you can check that out. But that's pretty much it. Let's move into this week's first breaking news story. The BrickLink Designer Program Series 8 is underway. This is time for pre-orders that last until June 18th. So you're going to have to get over there and purchase these. Now, they have to hit 3,000 orders to go into production, which I believe all of them have, but they don't share those details anymore. How many sets they used to sell. They're, I guess, a sell out point, but I mean, you used to be able to see like the bar tracking them when they would get to that point. But they don't really show. It still says all in production and funded. So you can go check out those and get a pre-order in before they, air quotes, sell out. The first one is the Brick Railroad Locomotive, 1,428 pieces at $120. The Coconut Cape, $2,425 at $210. The Dustmark Keep, 4,000 pieces at $350. University of Science, $3,995 at $360. And the Hot Air Balloon at $80. I purchased 3 of these, but the crazy thing is when you sell these, you get a great percentage of the price, so people can make almost $1 million, which is absolutely bonkers if you make the biggest set, which at University of Science, I can't remember how many sets like they allow. Usually it's like 15,000 or something crazy, and then even they bump up if there's more demand for it, which used to have a limit, but not anymore, because I think they just want to sell, which means the person gets paid. Now, there's already articles out concerning the Smart Play Star Wars sets. Is it a hit or is it a flop? And I think all of us know the answer to this because Smart Play has not been successful. And I don't know if it will. They're going to have to figure out a good use for it. Now, the Pokemon, a lot of people say it is. I don't really think so. But you can be the judge of that, and especially as they go on sale. But there are discounts already happening. The UK Amazon store is doing a bunch of discounts, and we're getting stores in the United States giving discounts for it. And I don't ever see people playing with it at the Lego store because they used to have a stand. Now they just don't. And I think this is just a big miss because the problem is those are Well, they're not great looking sets, and it was just dedicated to the Lego brick itself, which, sure, that's the new product, but maybe make the sets look cool and integrate. Or sell a really nice, more expensive X-Wing and TIE fighter, then get the brick you can sell separate or something. I don't know. I'm not in the marketing department, but I think that we all know this did not work so far. The Lego House every year does their contest to celebrate, Lego. And this year they did the idea for the 100th contest last year to have people's creations built and displayed at the Lego House. There were 75 different designers showcased at the House of Brick. They're located with 20,000 bricks under the sea models. They have a bunch of other amazing designs, and builders get their sets displayed for all the people to see who go to the Lego House for a year. Now, I was lucky enough to have mine displayed also at Legoland the next year. I think I had 3 years. It was just traveled all over there. So I got to see it when I went on the inside tour. But it is really a big honor to have your set selected to go. And if you have a chance and you have your set there, I'd highly recommend going. It is definitely a good pilgrimage to go see. A Lego Instagrammer by the name of Nathan Swaya has built a full-scale version of a pool table. He's more well-known for some of the mosaics and some sculptures, but he's decided to build this. It's 93,075 pieces, a fully flat surface, and even using the balls of, in Lego pieces. It looks really cool, and it's definitely an intense build to create such a large table and try to capture as much detail as you can as well, because he's got the cue sticks and the rack. I always forget what it's called, where you put it in the diamond shape. That's a lot of pieces, and it's crazy how much time that probably took to do it as well. There's even the underside section where when you hit the balls into the each of the pockets, it rolls down into a central deposit at the end. So that's another additional thing you have to think about, doing the slope and all that to get them back to the central section. Really cool, and just an honest way to continue building some really cool sculptures. There's quite a few surprises in the Batman The Dark Knight video game, and a lot of people are searching and finding them. One, you can actually find the One Ring. In the underground base, you can look and find the small 1x1 ring that Gollum has in part of the Lord of the Rings series. The Italian Job, there actually is a Mini Cooper that you find along the riverside from the 1969 version, not the original or the newest version. There's the Gentleman Ghost Challenge, where players have to attempt take a photo with the Gentleman Ghost. And this is a spooky style where you have to have photo mode, and you're going to see a ghost of a man in a cape and a hat from the Arkham old school things. There's the Scary Bunny. It's in the forest near Arkham Asylum, and it's well-known Easter egg with a trio of white bunnies located on the ground at Rocksteady Studios' first Arkham Asylum game. There's the keyboard cat, and this little cat walks across the keyboard, and then it brings up the dancing cat with music on the screen. You can play as Alfred, Lucius Fox, and Bruce Wayne, all as different characters, so you can select and just kind of scroll through that. There's the Batcave customization, which is really cool, of course, because it's the Batcave. You want to have some custom stuff that you're going to put in there. So you've got the legendary Batman stuff, various logos that you can put on there. So there's as part of your underground layer and backgrounds, and it's really cool to be able to adjust those. There's the Lego Batman High Score, and this is a fun little arcade game that they've built before, and it shows the famous actors with their abbreviation of Val Kilmer, Christian Bale, Robert Pattinson, and more, showing on the screen who has the highest score for the game. I love little Easter eggs, and especially in games like this, it's a way to continue on challenges. Now, I haven't played video games in a while, but it has been told to be a fun game and highly rated. So if you're a game player and you want to find some of these hidden secrets, you can go and look at some of these articles to find them. We've got a new rumor coming for Godzilla. This set is looking to be pretty impressive and coming out right around the Black Friday timeframe. So right around the 27th of November. And it's going to be almost 5,360 pieces, which is a crazy number to have. So does that mean it's extremely large or extremely detailed? Maybe a blend of both. Godzilla is such an iconic character all around the world, and there's so many different variants from different movies. Which one will they go with? Because the one that was selected from Lego Ideas could be the one they go with, or it could be completely different. We have no idea exactly what it'll be, but that doesn't mean that it won't be one that you love, because Godzilla is just a really fun kaiju creature, and hopefully we get some flames to go along with it. Or we already have Lego Star Wars rumors for January of this next year, which is crazy because that's so far away, and we haven't even talked about what's coming out in the fall, which is likely to be the Superstar Destroyer as the replacement for like the largest set for Star Wars, other than the Death Star. So I'm looking at $850 for that. I already have the original, but I'm excited to see what they do with the new one. So who knows? Maybe like no studs on top, because that one is a little older and they didn't do that. Anyways, the January sets. First one we're looking at is the Slave One. It's $5. I have no idea. It's probably a poly bag for that one. There's a Y-Wing retailing for $80, so it looks like it's going to join in like the TIE Bomber range and have some good details for it. We're going to get a potential of a mystery model of $150. I don't know exactly what that could be. I'm thinking we already have the AT-AT is coming. Maybe we'll do some more Clone Wars, which would be cool to throw in some more love to the old school stuff that our generation likes. So the saga continues for the Bricks and Minifigs investigation. Now, it's been going on for a couple weeks now, and Reckless Ben has been posting a lot of videos of the investigation into the alleged $200,000 of Lego Star Wars consignment deal that went sour in the Salem, Oregon Bricks and Minifigs store, which the company has parted ways with, but that doesn't mean that it hasn't hurt them, and they're still not doing the right thing. And he's actually released a video called his final message. It was only about a minute and a half because he's been served by Bricks and Minifigs. And so he's just not going to post the final section of the series. And he states, normally I would screw the big guy telling me what to do. I'm going to do whatever is morally right. But in this situation, if I do that, then all my friends get screwed with the lawsuit and we lose our GoFundMe money we raised immediately. So they've raised a good bit of cash, so why would they want to screw that over? There's so many different options that they have, and hopefully they take up a lawsuit against Bricks and Minifigs for all this. It's crazy that it's gotten to this point because, I mean, Bricks and Minifigs could have just given back the consignment set. They've definitely screwed themselves over, and it's going to continue into an actual lawsuit here in some form, and hopefully these guys come out on top over Bricks and Minifigs, because they just are screwing over everyone, including you if you walk into their store. It is confirmed we are getting a Shrek minifigure series this September. And we don't know exactly what the minifigures are. There have been rumors. We already did get the Shrek Donkey and Puss in Boots set, and then Gingy. Hopefully we get some of these still as minifigures. I hope we get like the Ugly Stepsister, the Fairly Godmother, and a bunch of others to come, because they usually do, 12, I think, that they do around. So there's a good many minifigs that we could get to celebrate our love of Shrek and add it to some of the sets that we'll probably get as the movies right around the corner. We've got some gifts with purchase coming back around for a celebratory tour. Now, if you spend $200 in the Lego store, you're going to get the vintage parade car, which came with one of our latest modular sets, and then also the classic animation scene if you spend $130. The animation scene was from Pixar, where they had, or was Disney actually. It's got Lion King, it's got Toy Story, and then the classic logo on a TV. So there's options if you didn't get those before. I always like this because some people just miss out and they're like, oh, damn it, I got to go find it online, or I'm just going to have to pass it over. Now they have an opportunity to go back and get some of these. On top of that, Lego is discounting some of their sets as well. We're looking at almost 20 to 30%, such as the Battle Droid is going down, the Der Burger restaurant, Crocodile Submarine, the Bowser's Castle, Sweetheart, Tweety Bird, and another set of Insiders ones, such as the Cinderella dress, the Travel Boat Adventure. So if you're looking at some of these sets, you can go check out lego.com and get them at a discount, plus getting those gifts with purchase. With the launch of the new Main Street from Disneyland, they decided, let's go to the Disneyland store and make it official. They actually had some openings there where they had a projection of where you can stand in Main Street, kind of on the ground, like the illusion where you stand on the ground or stand in front. It looks like you're inside the ride. You can sit on the ground looking like you're in the fire truck. And it has a brick built wall, and then the ground is just printed. But then that's kind of just a little photo op. It's fine. Just go take a picture. Now, there's a YouTuber by the name of Cheesy Studios. They've been on the Lego Masters show. I can't remember how many seasons ago, not too long ago. But they've finally pieced together all the Lego sets that match up to create the massive Hogwarts Castle set with all the different wings and towers and all that, and how much it comes out to. And it is an extremely expensive build and a very impressive set. Now, we had the one set that you could build before, but now you can get all the pieces to build all the different wings, similar to what we had as the single all-encompassing set. And this one, is based on minifigure scale with the different scenes and stuff. And even at the end of the booklet, it shows all of them coming together. It says, build the most detailed Hogwarts castle there is. Now, when they first came out in 2001, I believe, for the original movie, they had a similar thing. It just wasn't as detailed or as expensive as this. I mean, the East Wing itself is $260. The Hogwarts Hospital Wing is $90. The main tower is $260, and on it goes, adding up to the total cost, which I actually didn't watch the video yet. So it's probably it's pretty high, as we already talked those prices. I'm not sure if people have ever built all of them, because, I mean, there's a lot of Harry Potter fans, but that's pretty expensive to get each and every one of those. We've got a new line rumored for 2027. It's going to be Hello Kitty. As we continue to expand into the kids realm with Bluey, Hello Kitty has been around forever. So in this expansion, it just makes kind of a good bit of sense for this. Hello Kitty has some really fun characters. It's been around since the 60s and really blew up in the 70s. And now, I mean, you go anywhere, Japan specifically, they've got all kinds of different things. Hello Kitty's estimated worth is $5 billion per year in sales, and grossing $33.5 billion entirely in merchandise, which is a crazy amount of money. And why not throw Lego in there to make some of that cash too? I know a lot of kids love Hello Kitty, and adults, so this could be a good way to do it. Or if they only do it in Duplo form, then they're going to cut out some of that adult enjoyment. And that's all the breaking news we have this week, folks. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's podcast. I appreciate each and every one of you. As always, listening, make sure to subscribe, tell your friends, and let's get talking about some amazing Lego sets as we jump into our review. Our first one is set 31384, the Wild Animals Colorful Hummingbird. It is a Creator 3-in-1 set, so you can make 3 different things. It's an A+ set of 312 pieces and a cost of $30. So just at that 10 cents per piece, just under. And has 5 stars out of 5 stars with 30 reviews. And so let's talk about the different builds that you can do. The 3 are a butterfly that is on a few small flowers. We have a fish kind of in water, kind of out of water, like with flowers and coral. And then the hummingbird, of course, with 2 flowers as it's reaching into the stamen area, the pollen area, to drink up the nectar. What I think is nice that they use the new curved clear pieces to have it as what holds up the bird. So you can barely tell because it kind of wraps around in the tail section of the bird to hold it up over the flower. The hummingbird has a bunch of different colors: pink, yellow, turquoise, white, and lime green. And the feathers kind of fan out as they're on 1x1 hinges. And then the flowers are really beautiful. A blue petaled flower. There's a pink one, and that's just for the hummingbird as it's going in for the nectar. But then the butterfly and the fish all have that same beautiful coloring. 3-in-1s are the most impressive sets to me because they have to create 3 different designs out of only the same bricks that they have. So that's a huge limitation on it. And at $30, it's a nice small build to have for an 8-year-old or older, of course, to build something in the summer. And then when they're bored with this one, they can tear it apart and have the other 2 to go along and build that too. So you can find that link in the description if you're interested to support the channel and have a fun little build for summer. Now moving on to our Rebrickable set. This is the AR Wing Star Fox Assault Spaceship. It's by Kaelfros, Kaelfros. It's 681 pieces, and it'll cost you 10 euros for the instructions. The crazy part is it looks just like the Star Fox Assault ship. It's got the really pointy nose. Now, if you have never seen Star Fox, I recommend you go check out an image of his ship before you go over to the link in the description, because you'll see just how impressive this is. It's got the cockpit section. It looks like it's from like the X-Wing, I think, and very conical shapes overall. There's 4 conical shapes for the jet sections and 2 wings. Now, it's primarily no studs on top. There's a couple smaller ones, but having such detail in the small set is really cool. Now all we need is a Star Fox minifigure. Maybe we'll get one day, but there is a Fox head minifigure that you can use to make it look like it's Star Fox, and it comes with a base so that you can display it. I never really played too much Star Fox, but I know the ship, and the Super Mario Brothers Super Smash Brothers. Wow, I could not get that out. But it's from my childhood, and a lot of people love Star Fox. It showed up in the latest Mario Galaxy movie. The ship is well done, well built, and has some beautiful lines to it. So I recommend you go check it out and purchase the instructions if you loved Star Fox and all the classic games that go along with our Nintendo life. And that's it. Thank you all for listening to this week's reviews and opinions and the news. Hopefully you learned something. All right, everyone, I'll leave you as I always do. Get creative, get out there, and go build something.